It is Wednesday, September 7th, 2022 at 6:40 p.m. Eastern Time, USA. This is my video journal. I'm Mitch Miller, and we are I am systematically challenging the United States military to a non-lethal pistol duel or wrestling match, or perhaps a contest of their choice. We're on to Second Lieutenant. If you've achieved the rank of Second Lieutenant in the United States military or its equivalent in any of the other branches, I challenge you to a duel using non-lethal paintball gun pistols. Since we do not have the prototypes for these, we'll revert to a wrestling match using scholastic rules. If you win, you delay my challenging process by 6 months. I'll be into the warrant officers next, and I won't challenge them for 6 months if you win. In addition, you will receive a piece of my art worth millions. If I win, you must find funding in your budget for my weapons company. Starts out as a non-lethal weapons company, transitions to a smart weapons company. If you cannot find funding, you must use some of your personal monies to fund my weapons company. In return, I will give you a stock certificate so you have ownership in the company, all on paper, no electronic trail for that. I can type it up on a typewriter or on a computer of your choosing. I do have a laptop that I took the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth antennas out of. If you can provide a printer that'll print the documents. Or you can take a piece of my art valued at millions of dollars. That's all I have to offer at this time. If you ignore this challenge, if you refuse the challenge, if you do not accept the challenge, you are a coward. And the blood and death of any military action around the globe is on your hands for not justifying and validating this new form of modern warfare that uses marksmanship and hand-to-hand combat skills, two of the most widely taught skills in the in any military. So good, we have that done with. Saving some good stuff for the warrant officers, but as I promised in the last one, because that's what I would have been in the military as a warrant officer, so we're moving into those 5 ranks next. But as I promised, I have another option. So I've suggested going to the Ukraine and starting my technology company there, or in nearby Bulgaria, somewhere in the EU. But I think it makes sense to go to Ukraine and work out. Start a direct democracy technology company in a war-ravaged country. I'm looking for funding for that. I'm looking for permission. I won't go without permission from the Ukrainian government and any other government that I travel from into Ukraine. Have to have their permission. And I don't intend to write to them until I've challenged every rank in the military, in the United States military. Now this could be accelerated, but I think a standard 7-day wait time is sufficient. It's the amount of time it would take for a postal letter to get to me if you accepted the challenge. So that's one route I've suggested. The other route is I stay safely here in the United States. And I'll get to that route in a minute. It has to do with the reality show. It has to do with my budget of I only have like $10,000 on hand. I have no funding. Nobody will buy art from me. Even if they bought a painting or a piece of photography, they could say, only use this money for this project. Only do not flee, do not go to Ukraine. With this money, at least they could say that. But it's coming. Direct democracy is coming. We're going to get there. I'm going to keep pushing for it. If I can't do it in the Ukraine, I'll do it in my own backyard in my hometown of Utica. But I want to talk about quicker ways to get to using direct democracy in our existing institutions. Now, I said the Periscope platform, and if we would have funded this years ago, we'd be more prepared to deal with real-life situations in the United States and abroad. Politicians could, and I contacted some politicians, they could do it on their own. Podcasts are free. You can, through the podcast system I use, you get 3 hours of free podcasting per month. Now, after 1 month or 3 months, those old episodes start erasing. You pay to keep them up. But it's free. You can run a podcast 3 hours a month for free. So these politicians, they could post their schedules on their websites. They could link a podcast to their website. But instead they just have donor buttons and campaign promises and things like that. They could be transparent. Why not go on for 45 minutes a week and tell us who is blocking your legislation? Which politicians won't vote for your legislation? Which politicians want to add stupid things to your laws and your bills that don't make sense, or slush funds, or whatever? Tell us. Be the journalist and tell us what is going on. Somebody will pick up on it, highlight it, make a snippet out of it, and with all those snippets combined, we'll get to the bottom of who is actually jamming up Congress. So transparency, we don't have it. So you say not one politician is going to step up and do it, like a Bernie Sanders or whoever. They're all corrupt. They all like their power structures. So you need a blanket program like Periscope to do it. Well, then buy some photography and I'll get it done. Then the mandate will be there from the people. We want transparency. Here's an easy platform that puts it all together for you. So use it. It'll get you some votes. So that being said, if we had the Periscope platform up and running, where we can share video, share things like that, forums, vote on things. I want to talk about Jackson, Mississippi. They've been 40 days without clean water. They have a horrible water structure, primarily African American city in the United States. For decades they've had problems with their water. And this is what I want to talk about, getting to direct democracy in our mainstream institutions. I lobby for it in my book, my novel, Femme Party. Public utilities should be run through direct democracy. The people running these utilities should not make $1 million a year. 200,000, maybe. People should vote on the utilities and come together and say, and a whole street should be able to say, I want all the lead lines replaced on my street. Here's what we'll chip in if you'll do it next month. And get this lead lines and things replaced and this infrastructure replaced. We took up a collection and here's what we can throw in. Will you pay for the rest? City of Pittsburgh or whoever. City of Jackson. So water, it should be free. Clean drinking water should be free. If you build the infrastructure correctly the first time, then you have very minimal maintenance and it can be next to nothing for your water. Now sewage has to be processed, so you have to pay for that. But clean drinking water should be next to nothing. It should be the cheapest thing we have to pay for. and this is a non-alcoholic drink, by the way. After my birthday, I've been taking it easy. Not that you care, but so water utilities. That's how we do it. Direct democracy. We build the platform, Periscope, or we can call it Clean Water, or whatever we want to call it, a version of Periscope. And the people of Jackson, Mississippi, vote on their infrastructure. And they're talking about private companies coming in and building the infrastructure. Well, that's fine. If the government can't come up with the money, let's let a private company come in. But you prescribe to them, listen, we want totally open books. We want totally open process. We want this run through direct democracy. Every citizen gets to vote on every major situation. We want videos. We want full coverage. We want coverage of every concept we're thinking about, of a breakdown, of interactive map, everything. And you put up the money. We'll pay through our monthly payments. We'll pay you back over 5 years, 10 years. We'll pay interest on your investment. And if at the end, after you're paid back through our fees, you also have to keep managerial pay structure under a certain amount, $200,000 for the lead, so on and so forth down the line. After 10 years, when we've paid back your initial investment for all this infrastructure, we get to vote on whether we make it a public utility again or not. Now, if you were totally open, you ran it well, you had all kinds of innovation and things that came in, then we'll probably allow you to reap the benefits of some kind of premium off of our services for another 5 years. So it's not a horrible investment to invest in our city to build the infrastructure. But that's what you do if you have a platform like this already ready to launch. Instead of 40 days, we could be down there. And you can deploy me now. I'm waiting for the call from Bulgaria or Ukraine. I'm ready to go. I don't want to work in an embroidery shop. It's annoying, it's loud, and it's manual labor. My hands cramp. I'm getting old. So deploy me to Jackson, Mississippi to launch my technology company from there, public water utilities, all right? I'll give you, if the politicians are worried about direct democracy weakening our country, right? Is that what the military is saying? It'll weaken our country, weaken our command structure? That's bullshit. They're scared. It means the people decide. And you can leave the old command structure in place. But if you're worried and you're not ready to be transparent and you're not ready for direct democracy in the government, just let us facilitate the water company. All right? It's one company. I'm not saying every corporation should run like this, but public utilities, they're hybrids. They're government, they're private, they're kind of a hybrid. Let's let them, at least in one place in Jackson, Mississippi, let's experiment. You're freeing up this infrastructure money. Biden can declare a state of emergency and we can be deployed there with a team of technology people that can build this platform. So that's another option, not the one I was going to get into, but I'm hearing this in the news, and that's another option for me to start this technology company right here in the United States. But they're not going to act. They don't care. They could be transparent today, tomorrow. They're not going to do it. So I'm going to fight from Utica, Pennsylvania. And I released some top secret documents in my basement computer a while ago on the old one that got shut down by the NSA or someone, saying move to Franklin, Pennsylvania. The Femme Party novel suggests it. So let's go to Venango County. And here's my idea. I have my camera. I bought my camera. I'm going to go into that when I'm getting into the warrant officers. I bought my still camera, digital camera, Canon, that can shoot HD video. And what I'm thinking is, as the summer approaches in early spring, I'm going to look for one person that can edit HD video, shoot HD video, someone like me with a film degree that has an eye for the camera. I'm going to buy a little microphone for the top of it, and I'm going to start a reality show. Now it's going to take the whole summer to shoot, and we probably won't be editing and releasing it until the fall. So again, this is a time frame of a year from now before we get any major traction on this, if it takes off, like all my stuff does, right? It's going to be a reality show, and the premise is this. I'm going to talk to Ken Bryan and Beth Bryan, the owners of French Creek Farm, the campground. We have Nick Nahay, a computer programmer of some sort. He's handling their website. I never really looked into him, haven't talked to him about it. We have a cast of characters, and the premise is this. I want to build a platform so that campgrounds are run through direct democracy and sustainable electric usage. He doesn't have any electric down at his primitive campsites, no water. So I know a guy that works in Barkeyville. I graduated with him, that works at a small solar company that can't finance yet. I'm going to get an estimate from them to set up some solar panels in Ken's field. Enough power to run one camper, one RV. I'm going to go to the RV place in Sagertown. I'm going to talk to them about RVs. We're going to learn all about RVs. But the premise, it'll start with me talking to Ken and Beth and saying, can I make your campground sustainable, or at least parts of it, and through direct democracy? If you let me put a camper on your property that runs through sustainable electric that I can rent out through Airbnb or something like that, I'll paint your house for little to no cost. So part of it's going to be me teaching you how to paint their farmhouse with my friend, if he will have me, Taylor Anderson, to advertise his business. Part of it is going to be us going out to local businesses in Franklin, Oil City surrounding, and getting them to sponsor the reality show, and in return shooting simple commercials. But the premise is, I get this RV, I hook it up to the solar panels, we put a shed in with battery storage, and we start the first phase of a sustainable electric grid for the campsites at French Creek Farms. That's kind of season one. And we get estimates on how to expand it, strategies, and then Nick Nahay or someone helps build the platform that allows people through one of my websites, probably not the French Creek Farm advertising website. We build the platform where people can vote on what we want to do with this property, how we want to do it. It shows video, things like that. You can vote on it, you can watch video, everything like that. It's $20 or $40, however much it costs to camp there now. It used to be $20, it's probably up to $40 now. To become a member of the French Creek Farm campground, and you get to vote. That grants you voting membership. In return, you get one night free stay camping, and perhaps through the website you can order wood, things, line up, kayak and canoe rides and things like that. Interactive. So then we expand this also. We start covering Utica Borough meetings. Chip Abramovic, the county commissioner, comes into play. I question him, why won't you make it direct democracy to run Venango County? We have a back and forth of that mixed into different episodes. It's going to be a good reality series. There's plenty of colorful characters, and it's going to be shot with just one camera, one helper. I'll give them room and board. I'll cut them in on any of the revenue, and it should be good. So that's my plan for next summer. And I could go to Ukraine in early spring, set up what needs to be set up to start a technology company there, come back and still spend most of my summer in Utica taking care of my granddad and doing this. And I can, if I haven't found funding, if I can't sell any art, I can probably drive down and work Tuesday, Wednesdays at the embroidery shop, and spend the other 5 days up in Utica shooting this reality show. So that's my idea. Couple different options there. Deploy me to Jackson, Mississippi, where I started a technology company there. There's the dangerous but ethical option of starting a technology company from the Ukraine, or there's me trying to start one in my local hometown and capturing it on a reality show that will be released on YouTube, because I doubt anyone will pick it up. But as the reality show goes on, we expand, and the platform can be expanded to other campgrounds. So people might not want it in their cities, in their hometowns, and we'll go through those dynamics. But at least at their campground, maybe they'll vote on how the land should be used, on how the infrastructure should be developed, and it can be simple and voted on. So that's my premise. Join me next time when we address the warrant officers. Don't know if I'll get into my fast food restaurant idea for meatless burgers and cowards that eat beef that they didn't look in the eye. But we'll get into something on the next one. Thanks for watching. Sorry it's so long, but I had a lot to talk about today. Thanks.